And it's the DH Corbin Joseph, a left-handed bat to face the right-hander Chad Kuhl. And the pitch coming in, swinging a line shot back to center field, a soft fly ball for Meadows. He makes the catch, one away, and we are underway. 7:46 p.m. our official start time tonight. Delay time 1 hour and 46 minutes. Chad Kuhl sits down Joseph on one pitch. And just like that, the 2010 postseason is underway. We're certainly glad to have you along with us tonight. Curve and Baysox for game number 1. This is a best-of-5 series. The first team to win 3 games in this set. First 2 will be here in Altoona. Game 3 in Bowie on Friday. 5 and 6, if necessary, also at Prince George's Stadium. First pitch into Mike Yastrzemski is called strike 1 for Chad Kuhl. Mike Yastrzemski at the plate. He hit .246 this season for the Baysox. Takes a little bit low. It's 1-1. 128 games this year for Bowie. 6 home runs, 59 runs driven in. The 26-year-old out of Andover, Massachusetts. The pitch, line shot back to center field again. Meadows started in, now going back. Still going back. He can't get there. It's over his head. One hops the wall. Meadows fires in. Yastrzemski stops at second base. And he's got himself a double. Runner in scoring position with 1 away for the Baysox. Don't see Chad Kuhl get hit that hard very often. Kuhl entering tonight's game, his regular season record 11 and 5 with a .248 earned run average in 26 starts in his first season at Double-A. As Trey Mancini steps up, Mancini today was officially named by the Eastern League as this year's Eastern League batting champion. Despite not having enough at-bats to qualify, he swings and skies one back to left field. This ball's hit very well. Barrett Barnes is at the wall, running out of room back to the wall, and he makes the catch with his back pressed against the padding out in left field for out number 2. Up to third base on the play, tagging and moving up 90 feet goes Yastrzemski, and that was just about a 2-0 Baysox lead. Mancini just missed leaving the yard by about a foot.
Number 22, Quincy Lattimore.
Quincy Lattimore up next, a former Curve outfielder, a familiar face to everybody here. The Bowie Baysox MVP this year, 20 home runs and a .274 batting average, 64 runs driven across. He swings and misses. At the first pitch from Chad Kuhl, sinking fastball, diving off the outside corner, it's 0-1. Finally underway tonight. This game is only 3 minutes old, but a lot of action already early. Mike Yastrzemski standing at third with 2 outs. Kuhl's 0-1 pitch. Drops a little bit too low, a ball and a strike. Chad Kuhl out of the University of Delaware, native of Bear, Delaware. Pirates' 9th round pick in 2013. 22-year-old pitching in the postseason, 1-1. Bounced a fastball outside at 96 miles per hour. The count goes to 2-1. Kuhl works with a 4-seam fastball. That's what we saw right there. It will run up between 92 and 97 miles per hour at its best. He also has a changeup, and we'll see it in the lower end of the 80s, a slider in the mid to upper 80s, but he relies on that big sinking 2-seam fastball. Ground ball machine. 2 balls and a strike in the pitch. Skied back to center field, long run back for Austin Meadows to the warning track, and he makes the catch for out number 3. The ace of the Baysox, Joe Gunkel on the mound, winds up and delivers his first pitch of this postseason. Misses upstairs for ball 1. Gunkel 10 and 5 this year at Double-A between the Baysox and his time with the Portland Sea Dogs. 1-0 to Frazier. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. A .279 ERA. He faces here in the first inning Adam Frazier, the Athens, Georgia native out of Mississippi State. Man, we thought was the Eastern League batting champion. Pitch comes in, is called a strike. Informed today that the league is going to give the batting title to Trey Mancini of Bowie based on a rule, 9-point-something-something. Pitch comes in, swing and a miss. It goes to 2-2 on Frazier. Frazier finished the season with the highest batting average in the league amongst qualifying hitters at .324. 2-2. Fouls it back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 homers, 30 RBIs this year for Frazier. But there's a rule, Mancini, if you put an O for the amount of at-bats that he needed the rest of the year, he does qualify for the batting championship. Frazier fouls off the 2-2 pitch down the left field line. He stays alive at 2-2. We had ourselves a 1 hour and 46-minute rain delay prior to tonight's game. We are rolling along now. Bottom of the first inning, no score between Altoona and Bowie. 2-2 pitch. Spoiled foul again. Welcome in my broadcast partner, Nate Bowen. A home game, Nate, and you are in the booth in the first inning. It's amazing what the playoffs and a little rain delay will do.
That's good to be up here in the first inning, just like the road trip.
2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball over to first. 2 hops for Trey Mancini. He flips it to Gunkel covering the bag. Out number 1. Frazier bounces out.
Batting second baseman, number 5, Max Moroff.
The Curve MVP, Max Moroff, heading up to home plate, batting .293, 7 homers, 51 RBIs this year, his first year at Double-A, the Maitland, Florida native. Switch hitter will bat from the right side against Joe Gunkel. Gunkel out of Boynton Beach, Florida, played his college ball at Division II Westchester in Pennsylvania. They wind up in the first pitch to Moroff. Swinging a fly ball sent out to shallow left field. Drifting over towards the line comes Quincy Lattimore, and he makes the catch. About 10 feet or so from the foul line for out number 2. Pretty painless work so far for Gunkel tonight.
Batting third, first baseman, number 37, Jose Osuna.
Jose Osuna will bat next for Altoona. Osuna started out this year with the Bradenton Marauders, where he spent last year as well. 44 games for Bradenton, 4 homers, .282 batting average. Takes the first pitch, 92-mile-per-hour fastball called a strike from Gunkel. It's 0-1. Osuna promoted up to Double-A. Here's the 0-1. Inside, a ball and a strike. Batted .288 with the Curve in 85 games, homered 8 times. A total of 12 long balls for him this year and 81 RBIs. 1-1. Swings and bounces one high towards third base. Charging in comes Dosh. Barehand pickup, throw to first. Not in time. Run out by Osuna. And the Curve have their first base runner tonight. An infield single for the number 3 hitter. We'll see the first P&G Field plate appearance for the Pirates' number 2 prospect, Austin Meadows. High bouncer, tough play for Dosh. He made a good attempt on it. Osuna able to run that one out by a step or 3. And now Austin Meadows, another Georgian on this Altoona team, spent just 6 games with the Curve after getting promoted from Bradenton, but he batted .360. Tripled 3 times, 3 consecutive days while we were out at Binghamton the last few days. Gunkel to the stretch for the first time tonight. He fires in and gets a called strike on the inside corner. 0-1 to Austin Meadows.
Nearly had his first career Double-A home run, and Binghamton just missed by maybe half the wall, I would say. Maybe
it was the upper half
half
of the wall where that one hit, that's for sure. He's got some good power. We're hoping to see it here in the postseason. The 0-1 swings and misses right over the top of a Gunkel changeup. And the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. The Baysox got to see Meadows for 2 games. He made his Double-A debut at Prince George's Stadium, a 2-for-4 night against Joe Gunkel. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at first. And the pitch. Just missed inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another changeup from Gunkel, running just a hair off the inside corner. Meadows is just 20 years old. He's the youngest player on this team. Started out this season as a 19-year-old, and here he is at Double-A. Quite impressive. 1-2 pitch. Swings and fights it off down the left field side, drifting back towards foul ground, and that's going to fall harmlessly out of everybody's reach. Third baseman Drew Dosh gave it a good run, but couldn't quite get to it. Count remains 1-2. A rainy evening here in Altoona, but all clear right now. The skies have darkened into the night. Lights illuminated atop the Skyliner roller coaster behind right field. We have September baseball from P&G Field, playoff baseball for the first time since 2010. The fans that have stuck out through the rain delay, vocal crowd already tonight. They cheer along Meadows at the plate, trying to get something going against a very tough pitcher in Joe Gunkel. Right-hander comes set. And his 1-2 pitch just misses outside. 94 on the fastball. That's about the top end of what we'll see. The velocity from Joe Gunkel. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first with 2 outs. Scoreless game in the bottom of the first inning. Another long set pitch. Just missed inside again. Gunkel, all 3 of these pitches that have missed the strike zone have been off the plate by maybe inches. And the count is filled up 3-2. Jose Osuna will get a head start with this next pitch.
That's really a sign the way Meadows is seeing the baseball right now. He's barely even flinched at these pitches that have just missed.
Full count, 3-2. Gunkel sets. And the payoff pitch. Swinging a bouncer down the first base line. Bobbled away by Mancini. Picks it up, flips to Gunkel. It gets away. Osuna's around to third as it rolls across the infield. Backed up by Garabez Rosa. Meadows scampers back to the bag, and he's on first and third for the Curve. That is an error against Trey Mancini. And the Curve have a chance to make that hurt the Baysox as Barrett Barnes will come up.
That's a real tough hop over at first base, and probably should have just eaten the ball once he recollected it in foul ground, but when he flipped it back to the pitcher, it gave Osuna a chance to go up to third base, and now he can score on a wild pitch or will surely score on any single. Could have been a play at the plate if he was standing out at second base.
Heads up base running by Osuna as well. He's really been hustling this inning. Laid down an infield single. Now he's all the way around to third as the former Texas Tech Red Raider Barrett Barnes steps in. First pitch to him. Takes inside, it hit him. And the bases are loaded. Fastball drilled him on the shoulder. Didn't have a chance to move out of the way. Maybe Gunkel a little bit flustered this inning. Not implying intent, but implying that one got away from him. The bases are loaded with 2 outs for a bat that's been hot of late in Jacob Stallings. Batting .343 over his last 10 games. He had a home run against the Baysox in the finale of that series, his third of the year. Just a few days ago, 3 homers, 32 runs driven in for the former Carolina Tar Heel, batting .275 on the season. Righty versus righty with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Curve have a chance to jump on Gunkel in the first inning. They couldn't play a run against him in 7 innings in the last time they saw him. He sets, and the first pitch, Stallings takes, called strike across the inside corner, a Gunkel changeup, and it's 0-1.
The Curve really making Gunkel work here, especially Adam Frazier's at bat and Austin Meadows fouling off some pitches and getting deep into the count.
This next pitch from him will be his 20th of the first inning, which is big. He barely has to throw any pitches normally to get through. He gets through 7 in a breeze normally. The 0-1 pitch. Inside. Ball on his strike. That almost hit Stallings. Stallings says it hit him. Chris Tipton says it did not, and Tom Prince, a couple of words from the third base coaching box. Stallings is not somebody who's normally going to try to pull a fast one over on somebody. If that hit him, if there's one player on this team whose word I would take, it's Jacob Stallings.
You rarely see catchers at all complain about getting hit by a ball. They usually know.
1-1 pitch. Stallings swings and lifts it back to right field. Yastrzemski playing in shallow is right there for it. Drifts back about 3 steps, and he makes the catch. That ends the inning. Chad Kuhl delivers in the first pitch of the top of the second inning. It misses just down and inside for ball 1 to Chance Cisco, the catcher for the Baysox. Winds up. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball softly hit out towards shortstop and right through the legs of Adam Frazier. And there's error number 1 against the Curve. Chance Cisco is on. The Curve, the most error-prone team in the Eastern League this year, and it was not close. And there's the first error of the 2015 postseason for Altoona. Trey Wilson with you tonight alongside my partner Nate Bowen. Our producer is Jay Randall. Altoona and Bowie, game 1 of the 2015 Eastern League Division Series just underway. Top of the second inning after a long rain delay. They had a rain delay out in Reading as well, or I should say out in Binghamton, in the Fightin' Phils and the Binghamton Mets. Runner on first base now with nobody out for Garabez Rosa. Slings the first pitch and pops it up in the air back to shallow right field. Long run in for Stetson Alley. He can't get there. It's a fair ball just inside the line. First to third as Chance Cisco. Out to second base is Rosa. And the Baysox have runners on second and third with nobody out. Bowie with a prime scoring chance now for Drew Dosh. Chad Kuhl's going to need to find the strikeout stuff. Drew Dosh out of Youngstown State, Columbus, Ohio native. .238 average with the Baysox in 68 games. 21 RBIs, a chance to pick up a couple of playoff RBIs here. The Altoona infield playing back up the middle. The corner infielders are in on the grass. First pitch. Dosh takes down and inside for ball one. And it's out at Niceig Stadium in Binghamton, New York. Reading scored 4 runs in the first inning. So they have jumped ahead of the Binghamton Mets early in the Eastern Division playoffs. 1-0 pitch is fouled back. The count evens up at a ball and a strike to Dosh. It's 4-1 on the 5-star Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard. Biden Phil's leading the B-Mets in the top of the 3rd inning. The 1 run for Binghamton. A Vince Belnomi homer. We saw one of those on Monday afternoon. 12th inning walk-off shot to bring it into the 2015 regular season. 2nd and 3rd here. Nobody out. Cole trying to work around this jam. The pitch to Dosh. Inside, just missed. Fastball at 96. Couldn't catch the corner. It's 2-1. Chad Cole having to work through some hectic stuff already tonight, as did his counterpart on the other side, Joe Gunkel, last inning, who worked out the bases loaded jam. This is even tougher now for Chad Cole. 2nd and 3rd with nobody out after an error and a double. Carabez Rosa at second base. Chance Cisco over at 3rd. The 2-1 pitch way outside, 97, but it missed. Could not entice Dosh into swinging, and it's a 3-1 count. You wonder, Nate, if a game like this, the pitchers had to wait out an hour and a half plus long rain delay. They had not yet started to warm up when the rains came before, but still, it messes with the psyche a little bit.
Yeah, both of these guys have thrown several more pitches than we're accustomed to seeing them throw through the first inning plus of this one.
These two are the aces of these two respective teams, and they have dominated. It's rare that you've even seen runners on against them. 3-1. Bouncer softly hit down the first base line, but it went off the foot of Dosh in the batter's box.
It's an unfortunate break for the Curve because Osuna would have been able to get the out, and there's no chance the runner would have been able to score.
No, Chance Cisco is not the most fleet of foot. He's not the slowest either, but not somebody who has really a chance to break on a grounder like that from 3rd base. But the count fills up, 3-2 on Dosh. Chad Cole working out of the stretch. And the payoff pitch fouled away down the left field side. The count remains full. Chad Cole really came into his own down the stretch. His last 14 starts since June 18th, 7-2 with a 1.52 ERA. Best in the Pirates organization during that span. Payoff pitch, line drive down the right field line, but it's well foul. One hops over by the Altoona bullpen, and the count remains full, 3-2. Starting to see a few more people poking in the ballpark. A decent crowd considering the weather earlier this afternoon and this evening to delay the start of this game.
A lot of people hiding out underneath,
Yes, for
getting
sure.
their food underneath at the picnic tables.
Jacob Stallings out to have a word with his starting pitcher, Chad Cole. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Cole looking for a strikeout of Dosh if he can get it. It's certainly a strikeout situation. Another payoff pitch. Way outside, that's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Tried to catch the corner with the fastball, could not get it. And now up to the plate comes Ozzie Martinez.
Shortstop, number 1, Ozzie Martinez.
Not necessarily the worst thing that could have happened in that scenario. Now you got the double play lined up and a force out at any base.
The infield backs up again. The middle infielders pinched a little closer to second than normal. Chance to turn 2. The corner infielders have dropped back a couple steps away from the bases. And the pitch just across the inside corner, called strike 1 to Martinez. Bases loaded, nobody out for the Bowie Baysox, top of the 2nd inning. Chad Cole trying to work around it or see if he can at least get 2 outs from it. The 0-1 pitch, swinging a line drive out to shallow right. That's in for a hit. Runners held up, so Cisco's the only one that will come in to score. No testing the arm of Stetson Alley. Everyone will move up 90 feet, and the Baysox lead 1-0 in the top of the 2nd inning. Still nobody out. Rosa goes to third, Dosh up to second base. Martinez on at first with an RBI single. And it's 1-0 Baysox.
That's a tough break on the mound for Cool. Maybe one of these softer hit balls that have come off him all game. Some of those foul balls that Dosh hit the at-bat before were much better hit than that one that just snuck by more often into right center field for a base hit. And over the course of this series, those should even out either way.
Not exactly squared up by Martinez, but he still gets credit for the hit and the RBI. And the Baysox take a 1-0 lead. Glenn Davis, the number 9 hitter, up. Takes low for ball 1. Davis out of Baltimore, Maryland. 96 games. The Baysox hit 268 this year. A couple of home runs. Cool still trying to find the first out at the top of the second. The pitch. Foul tipped back into the mid of Stallings. Brought in old number 1, the two-seam fastball. And the count evens up at a ball on a strike. The 97-mile-per-hour heater from Cool. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch, swinging a foul ball, lifted up into the second level, down the first base side. Cool ahead in the count now, a ball and 2 strikes, and with a right-handed batter up there, he could certainly consider bringing in that big, hard slider that he has. The 1-2 pitch just missed down and inside. It was the slider. Cool is receiving the baseball. You can tell by the body language, you might have thought that could have been strike 3. We've seen a small strike zone tonight both ways here in the early going. A 2-ball, 2-strike count. Nobody out, bases loaded. Long set, and the pitch. Bounces through the legs of Stallings into the backstop, and here they come. Rosa trotting in easily to score from third. Dosh goes up to third to replace him. Martinez goes to second. The Baysox lead at 2-0. Not the start to the postseason the Curve we're looking for, and still a lot of work to do to get around this. It's a wild pitch against Cool to score the run, and the count is filled up on Davis, 3-2. And now some stirring happening in the bullpen for Altoona. A couple players have hopped over the fencing. No throwing of yet. The payoff pitch. Swinging a soft line drive down the left field line. This is trouble. That is in for a fair ball. Here comes Dosh. She scores. Martinez scores easily. The throw goes to second. And Davis is in with a 2-run double. The Baysox lead 4-0. Still nobody out. And this inning is just starting to snowball on Chad Cool. Again, not all that hard hit. Just barely snuck inside the left field line. Glenn Davis has a 2-run double, and back to the top of the order. 6th batter of the inning is Corbin Joseph. 0 for 1. He flied out to center. First pitch. Squares for a bunt. Pushes it down the third base line. Cool picks it up. Bobbles it. No play. Sacrifice for Corbin Joseph and an error on Chad Cool. Runners on the corners. Still nobody out. And Mike Yastrzemski back up. This inning, 2 errors so far. 3 hits have turned into 4 runs for the Baysox, and they're looking for more.
That was a tough play to make for Cool coming off the mound. Maybe a little extra amped up to try and track that one down because he had Eric Wood charging in right behind him, had a perfect angle to make the play. But sometimes as a pitcher, that's just your reaction on a ball that's either a bunt or hit right back the middle. You want to try and knock it down just any way you can. Sometimes you're better off letting it go through.
Eric Wood certainly seemed to have the better angle that time. Here's Mike Yastrzemski for the second time. Swings and bounces it to third, and that's into left field. Another hit, scores another run. Davis comes in easily from third base. Corbin Joseph up to second. Still nobody out in the 8th batter of the inning for the Baysox. An RBI single for Yastrzemski. 5 runs have scored against Chad Cool to open up this postseason.
First baseman, Trey Mancini.
You don't want to make excuses for the pitchers, but with the long rain delay, and also Cool has extra rest compared to what he's used to getting, and sometimes you see it at the major league level as well. guys get that extra day off and it doesn't have the positive effect.
First pitch to Mancini, bounced foul down the third baseline. It's 0-1. Well, these last few, even that hit by Mike Yastrzemski that just scored the most recent run, they were just high bouncers. That last one was just a bouncer in the left field. It was just against where the Curve had the defense positioned. If that one's hit, a couple feet more over towards the left side, Eric Wood has a better play at it. There's action starting up in the Altoona bullpen, and in a hurry. As Chad Kuhl is up over 30 pitches now. The 0-1 pitch into Mancini is grounded to third and through the legs of Eric Wood into left field. And another error on the Curve is going to plate another run for the Baysox. Right through the legs of Eric Wood. Joseph around third to score. Yastrzemski goes up to second. And Mancini is on with the third Altoona error of the inning. This team, over the course of the 2015 season, committed 165 errors. That is the most in the Eastern League. That's more than an error per game on average. Now runners at first and second. Still nobody out. It's going to take a double play and some help for Chad Kuhl just to stay in this game. As Quincy Lattimore comes in, 0 for 1, a fly out to center field. First pitch, bouncer to third. Another chance, no, stays foul. 0-1. Lattimore is 0 for 1 tonight. He flied out to center to end the first inning. Ninth batter this inning for the Baysox. 5-0 lead. Jacob Stallings out to talk to Chad Kuhl. I think now it is reaching the point where it's a matter of time before he has to come out of this game, not for the lack of bad performance, but just for the sake of his future, for his arm. Most organizations have that single inning pitch limit. When you hit that, you're done. And that's to protect the future. John Kuchno is the right-hander warming up in the bullpen right now for Altoona, who can certainly go a long distance in a game. He was a starting pitcher before this year. But the Curve love to just throw some water on this fire right now. 5-0 Baysox lead, still nobody out. And the 0-1, Lattimore swings and fouls it off. No ball, 2-strike count. This inning, at the worst possible time, has been the toughest inning the Curve have seen in the 2015 season. 3 errors, 5 runs have scored so far on 4 hits, and still not an out. The 0-2 pitch drops too low. Kuhl tried the slider, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. And the funny part about it, not the ha-ha funny, is that Kuhl's pitched better this inning than he did in the first inning, where he got out of it without a run. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball chased upstairs by Lattimore, and he goes down for out number 1. And that first strikeout of the game for Chad Kuhl is presented by Kunzler, your local provider of the finest meat products. Kunzler is the official hot dog and a proud sponsor of the Altoona Curve.
Cisco, tonight's McDonald's strikeout guy.
Chance Cisco led off this inning, reached on an error, and here he is again. A double play right now for Kuhl. We can put this inning to bed with only 5 runs of damage. The first pitch, ball to strike to the left-handed batting catcher. It's 0-1.
And 5 runs is not an insurmountable deficit.
Certainly not for this team.
This team, who came back from down 7 in just an inning, and they have plenty of time to put some runs on the board yet tonight.
Scored 7 runs to walk off against the Erie Seawolves earlier this year. No balls and a strike in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Kuhl runs that one in there at 94. And it's 0-2. 0-2 count, 1 away, first and second for the Baysox. This is a Bowie team that has never once won a postseason series. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down goes Cisco. Back-to-back strikeouts for Chad Kuhl. Fastball running back in off the inside corner. Got Cisco to swing over top of it. And 2 away.
And Big Macs for everybody in the crowd. The big reaction.
Garbez Rosa up next for the Baysox. Garbez Rosa doubled earlier this inning and came in to score a run. First pitch to him. Ground ball back up the middle, sneaking through to center field. Another hit for the Baysox. Around third Here comes Jastrzemski. The throw is held. Jastrzemski scores. It's now 7-0 Bowie. An RBI single for Garbez Rosa, his second hit of the inning. And that's going to do it for Chad Kuhl tonight. Kuhl can't get through the second inning. Not a lot of defensive help behind him, including an error of his own doing. And John Kuchno is going to be brought in the game here in the top of the second inning with 2 away. Left-handed batting Drew Dosh will come up. He walked and scored earlier this inning. First pitch is a called strike, 0-1. The curve in a big hole. Kuchno trying to work around it. A big-time ground ball pitcher, more than 2.5 ground ball outs for every air out that he picks up. And the defense behind him, he can certainly attest to what he just saw. A lot of errors behind him this year. The 0-1. Line foul and out of play down the left field line. It's well out of play. And the count goes to 0-2 on Drew Dosh.
He has inherited the second most runners of any Curve pitcher this year. Has stranded 11 of the 14 that he has seen on base when he comes in.
Curve 17 unearned runs when Kuchno's been on the mound this year. He sets his 0-2 pitch. This is down and inside, trying to change up. Dosh not hacking after it. Count stays, or count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. First and second with 2 away. Still top of the second inning. Pitch coming in. A little bit low again. Big, heavy, sinking fastball from John Kuchno. Dropped a little bit too much that time. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This inning has lasted 25 minutes now. This half inning, 25 minutes. 2-2 from Kuchno. Ground ball right back to him. Picks it up on 1 hop. Trots over to first base. Flips it underhand and gets the out. And that brings it in to the top of the bottom of the second inning. Curve trailing the Baysox 7-0 now. The first pitch in from Joe Gunkel to Eric Weiss. Misses just outside for ball 1. Weiss, Alley, and Wood as the Curve look to start their biggest comeback of the year. 1-0 pitch. Line drive back into center. That's a good way to start it. Weiss is on, a base hit. Nearly took Joe Gunkel with it. There's the second hit of the night for Altoona, who stranded the bases loaded last inning. And oh, how quickly things can turn around. The Curve with the bases loaded last inning looked like they had a big chance to strike against Joe Gunkel. He takes all that momentum and snatches it right out of the hands of the Curve. Got Stallings to fly out. And then the Baysox come back with a 7 spot in the top of the second inning. Here's Stetson Alley. Runner on first. Nobody out. Curve trying to snatch some momentum back. Takes the first pitch a little bit low for ball 1. Gunkel changed up, misses down. Stetson Alley, the Curve's leading power hitter this year. Finished second on the team in RBIs. Led the team in home runs. Long set, 1-0 pitch. Fly ball sent back to center, but playable for Davis. Glenn Davis drifts over to right center, and he makes the catch for out number 1 in the bottom of the second inning. 7-0 Baysox, bottom of the second inning. Eric Wood, the number 9 hitter up. Wood's a batter that finished the season pretty strong. In fact, a 4-hit game on Monday to finish out his year. Drove in a couple of runs as well. Brought his batting average up to 237 for his final line. 2 homers, 28 runs driven in. Comes up here, the other Eric on the team, Mr. Weiss on at first base. First pitch from Gunkel. Wood takes, called strike, 0-1. Eric Wood out of Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. All right, 6th round pick in 2012, a 22-year-old third baseman. Gunkel delivers, bouncer foul. Played by Tom Prince over in the third base coaching box. Count goes to 0-2 on Eric Wood. Game number 1 of this 5-game series, best of 5 series between the Curve and Baysox. Gunkel comes set, the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And a fastball by Wood, out number 2 of the inning. Top of the order back up.
First up, Adam Frazier.
Adam Frazier bounced out to the first baseman Trey Mancini. Start off the bottom of the first inning. Comes up here with Eric Weiss at first, 2 outs. And the first pitch takes a called strike on the outside corner. Gunkel, he is awfully tough to score against. Curve backs against the wall very early tonight, the 0-1. Out back, no balls and 2 strikes. As Frazier just barely caught the bottom of the bat. That breaking ball coming in from Gunkel. The Curve do have the top offense in the Eastern League this season. They've added 271 in the regular season, just ahead of Reading, 269 average. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Fly ball sent back to center field, medium range over for it is Quinn Davis. Makes the catch, helps strand a handful of runners on base last inning. First pitch, fastball strike, 91 miles per hour, drifting across the outside corner. It's 0-1. Final line for Chad Kuhl, only because we have to. It hurts to say. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Misses outside, bounced in the dirt, 1-1. Kuhl 1 2/3 innings pitched. 6 hits, 7 runs, 4 earned runs, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Pitch is swung on in line softly out into right field, and the Baysox start off the 3rd inning with a hit. Ozzie Martinez is on his 2nd hit of the game already. Opposite field base knock, runner on first, and Glenn Davis will come up. Davis had a big blow last inning, a 2-run double. He eventually came around to score a run. Number 9 hitter in the order for the Baysox, non-drafted free agent pickup of the Baltimore Orioles a few years ago. Playing for his hometown organization, grew up in Baltimore. Played at Baltimore County Junior College. First pitch is in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Played for Bowie for a bit in 2014. 26 games for the Baysox, batted .313, had a pretty good start to his Double-A career. Davis this year, 96 games for the Baysox. Pitch just misses inside. It's a 1-1 count. Did some rehab work with the Aberdeen Ironbirds. Joined the Baysox in August after he started the season with Bowie. Missed most of the month of July. 1-1 count. The pitch from Kuchno. Swung on and fouled back. It's 1-2. John Kuchno gets plenty of time to showcase tonight. Also out of Baltimore, Maryland. Went to the Ohio State University for his college ball after starting out as just a student, non-baseball player at Wake Forest University. 1-2. Breaking ball misses down and inside. Stallings tried to bluff like it got by him. It did not. And it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Kuchno went down to Wake Forest, never had an intention of playing baseball there. He didn't. Never tried out for the team or anything. And then he grew 4 inches or so during his freshman year, up to where he is now, about 6'5". 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, changeup. Down goes Davis for out number 1. John Kuchno has his first strikeout tonight. Top of the order, Corbin Joseph up next. Kuchno sprouted up. He was playing for a travel team. In his words, nothing special, just some friends from home, group that he was playing with. He was playing out an event in Indianapolis, and one of the members of the Ohio State baseball coaching staff spotted him, liked his stuff, said, "Why don't you come play for the Buckeyes?" First pitch to Corbin Joseph, his wave that had missed, 0-1. Joseph is 0 for 1, reached on a sacrifice bunt try last time, but picked up first base on the air by Chad Kuhl. 0-1 count. This is where Kuchno is usually pretty good at generating a ground ball for 2. Off-speed pitch misses down and away, and it's a 1-1 count. Buckeyes picked up Kuchno, pitched a couple of years for the Ohio State squad up in the Big Ten, and then the Pirates liked his stuff too. They drafted him in the 18th round in 2012. It's a called strike on the inside corner, and it's 1-2 on Joseph. Baysox DH. Kutchno pitched in State College in 2012, made 4 appearances out of the bullpen just to get his feet wet in pro ball. Moved back to the starting rotation in 2013. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Oh, a foul tip, just barely got a piece of it. Stallings couldn't hang on. And Joseph stays alive at 1-2. Kutchno about had him. The all-speed stuff, he's mixing his stuff up well here early in his outing tonight. You assume it's going to be early, probably going to be asked to go quite a ways. Kutchno up to the West Virginia Power in 2013. 24 games, went 9-5. His 1-2. Bounced away foul again by Joseph. Count stays 1-2. 7-0 Baysox leading, top of the 3rd inning. Runner on first base with 1 out, a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Corbin Joseph. Kutchno helped pitch the Bradenton Marauders last year to the postseason. 26 starts. Went 8-9 at a 3.56 ERA. Fires in, and he misses downstairs. Count is square, 2 balls and 2 strikes. A good stop by Stallings keeps Ozzie Martinez over at first base. Kutchno pitched a scoreless relief inning against Binghamton just 2 days ago, on Monday during that 12-inning marathon to finish off the year. 2-2 pitch is hit in the air back to left, high back near the wall, but Barrett Barnes has room. And he makes the catch, 1 foot on the warning track for out number 2. Mike Yastrzemski will come up with 2 outs and a runner at first base.
Got some good news for Pirates fans on the 5-star Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard. The Indianapolis Indians are currently leading 6-1, 3-run double in that game by Dan Gamache, former member of the Curve.
Attaboy Dan Gamache. Pirates, certainly plenty of postseason action going on in the system, which is great to see. Quite incredible this year. First pitch comes in for a called strike to Mike Yastrzemski, who's 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. Indianapolis is in the playoffs. Low A West Virginia in the playoffs, and postponed for rain tonight. West Virginia Black Bears, the New York Penn League, also in the postseason. 0-1, down and away, ball and a strike. 4 out of the top 5 minor league affiliates for the Pittsburgh Pirates made the postseason this year. Bradenton just barely missed. Bristol was in the running until the final couple weeks of the season down in the Appalachian League. Ball and a strike, the pitch to Yastrzemski. Fly ball sit in the air back to left field. Barnes drifting, still going back near the wall, and he makes the catch. About 2 feet shy of the wall in left field. The powerful offense trying to overcome that deficit. First pitch from Joe Gunkel. It's taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Game 1 of the 2015 Eastern League Division Series. Ball misses down and in, a ball and a strike. Got some updates from Pittsburgh. Top of the 6th inning, Pirates in business. 1-1. Ground ball sent out to second base. Garabez Rosa has it. Fires it over to first, out number 1. Actually, an update from Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. The Pirates beat the Cincinnati Reds last night. And tonight on the 5-star Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard, currently leading 5-1. The tie just broken thanks to a grand slam by Jung Ho Gong.
He's been a great find for the Pirates. I believe he homered last night as well.
Oh, he did. First pitch in to Jose Osuna is fouled back 0-1. Here comes the Pirates announcement here.
Home run for Jung Ho Gong. Pirates 5, Cincinnati 1.
I sure do love the Pirates around here, as you might expect. Jay Happ on the mound tonight for the Buncos as well. That home run last night for Jung Ho Gong, Nate, you didn't see the replay? You never saw the highlight?
It landed at some point.
It landed in Kentucky. He crushed it, and you know who he hit it off of? Colin Ballister, member of our bullpen here in Altoona to start the year. That was Ballister pitched well aside from that homer. Pitch comes in, misses inside to Jose Osuna. It's 2-1. The ball, they say, traveled, I believe it was about 447 feet. 2-1. Poked foul down the right field side and out of play. The count squares 2-2 on Osuna. But it would have traveled a lot more if there had been nothing in there to stop it. It landed in the upper deck. Very, very empty Great American Ballpark last night. I believe it took forever for a fan to even get to the ball because of how far away it was. 1-2 pitch. Just misses upstairs. Now it's 2-2. Apologize for the wrong count a second ago. Count is even up. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Osuna. 1 out, nobody on. Gunkel delivers. Fought off foul again, out of play. Down the right side. You wonder with this big lead, the Baysox, are they going to just let Gunkel out there? Because they're in a situation, Bowie only has 4 starting pitchers right now as well. Does Gunkel stay out there? Does he go to the 5 and then they turn it over to their pretty good bullpen as Osuna shoots another one foul, 2-2. Gunkel has thrown nearly 150 innings this year, which is by a lot a career high. And he has been their best. He has been the ace. They have a couple of other good starters as well, but Gunkel has been the guy. 2-2 to Osuna. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. First strikeout, second strikeout of the night for Gunkel. Took Osuna up the ladder and he chased it. Out number 2 for Austin Meadows. Because the Baysox have to be feeling a little less confident than we do.
One of those good starters that they had earlier this year, Terry Doyle, is actually starting tonight
For Norfolk?
in the AAA playoffs. So they've been effective like the Curve. Had some guys go up because
The big difference, though. Here's the first pitch to Austin Meadows. Taken for a called strike. The Baysox for much of this year were a team that were playing very well with a team full of minor league veterans, independent baseball guys that came back over, guys who have been released by other organizations and have been claimed. The 0-1. Meadows bounces it out to second, picked up by Rosa, who fires it over to first, and that ends the bottom of the 3rd inning.
and a chance. Cisco at the plate. The first pitch to Mancini is lined foul. It'll get up and over the grandstand level. And out of this place, it is 0-1 on Mancini. He's flied to left and reached on an error tonight. Kuchno rocks and deals. This ball is lined out towards center field. Meadows tracking it on the run. He slides and makes the catch. Beautiful sliding defensive play by Meadows in center field. And a cheer from the home faithful. We saw that a lot in Binghamton, especially that extra inning game. He was tracking down everything hit in the outfield. A pretty play there.
He's going to be a lot of fun to watch in Altoona next year. He's likely going to be wearing a Curve uniform for much of the season.
Quincy Lattimore now at the plate with 1 out. First pitch from Kuchno is upstairs for a ball. It's 1-0.
Action already starting up in the Altoona pen. Remember, Kuchno pitched just 2 days ago. Josh Smith throwing for the Curve.
The pitch from Kuchno is low and away for a ball. And it's 2-0 now on Lattimore.
We were talking about last inning, Nate. We were talking about the Baysox, the makeup of this roster through much of their season. You were talking about Terry Doyle.
The 2-0 is bounced foul. It goes to 2-1.
The Baysox this season, much of the year, very older, veteran type of team. Lots of guys with experience, including this guy right here, Quincy Lattimore, who's having a great season. 5th year in the Eastern League. And you hope for those guys that it sparks them on to the next level. They get a chance to make the big leagues at some point, especially for Quincy because he was, former member of this team. That's what the Baysox were leading on most of this season.
The 2-1 to Lattimore misses down and away. It's 3-1.
They now have a bit more youth and a few more big-time Orioles prospects. Trey Mancini, Chance Cisco.
The 3-1 from Kuchno is chopped foul, gets a piece of Stallings, and now the count runs full.
And Joe Gunkel. And that's pretty much been the makeup of this Altoona team all season. It's one of the younger teams in the league this year with Altoona. Many of the Pirates' top prospects, Austin Meadows here late, but Josh Bell much of the year, Tyler Glasnow most of the year.
The payoff pitch from Kuchno is looped out into center field over the head of Frazier. That's a base hit. Meadows will get it back in. It is hit number 8 for the Baysox on the night. A 1-out single by Quincy Lattimore.
There's a much different makeup amongst these two teams. They've kind of gravitated back to the middle now here late in the year and as we've rolled into this postseason. And I believe that's going to do it for John Kuchno tonight.
The lefty still throwing down in the pen for the Curve. So we'll see maybe just a visit from Prince.
Chris Tipton, the home plate umpire, coming in.
And now he makes the call to the bullpen. Wanted to give Smith a couple extra pitches out there, so it's a 7-0 lead for the Bowie Baysox. We'll step aside, tell you about the new reliever for the Curve when we come back on the Curve. He sees a left-handed bat and Chance Cisco at the plate. First pitch is in there for a called strike, 89 miles an hour from Smith. Runner on at first base is Quincy Lattimore. There is one out here in the inning. As Smith rocks and fires, check swing, but he didn't go around. And it count evens up here on Cisco.
We knew what kind of stuff Smith had. He posted a 1.93 ERA in 35 games last year in Bradenton. We were all baffled by his first half this year.
The lefty with the high set and the 1-1 misses outside for a ball.
But it was the walks that really hurt Smith early on in the year. He ended up cutting down that walk rate a lot. And that was another thing, that was a big reason why he was able to come in and put together such a strong second half to this season.
And the pitch here misses outside. It's 3-1 on Cisco. Numbers very good, especially against lefties. They are 9 for 63 against him for a 143 batting average. Has the lefty up there here. Down in the count, 3-1. The pitch is cut on and missed. Might have got him to chase ball 4, and now the count is full.
Looked a little down and in. Pre-All-Star break, Smith was averaging about a walk per inning pitched. Since the All-Star break, he's averaging about a walk for every 2 innings pitched. So he's really flipped that around the other way.
Here's the high send, checks on Lattimore. The payoff pitch is cut on and missed, and it's a strikeout for Smith, his first of the night. It is strikeout number 4 for the Curve pitching staff. So good job by Smith, and there are 2 outs with a runner at first base. Touched on the inherited runners by Kuchno. The man who has inherited more runners than him is Smith. 23 during the regular season. First pitch to Garibez Rosa is inside for ball 1. Came in several times with the bases loaded this year. So he's come in some very tough situations. Not as tough here with 1 out and a runner on first when he came in. This one is popped foul. And the count will even up at 1-1 as it comes back near us. Rosa, couple of hits in this one, doubled in the second inning. Also singled in that frame. He's knocked in a run today. Rips this one into left field. That's down in front of Barnes for a base hit. Stopping at second base is Lattimore. So now a 3-hit game for Garibez Rosa. And a good start to the postseason for him. That is hit number 9 of the night for the Baysox. They lead this one 7-0. We're in the top half of the 4th inning. And Drew Dosh will be the batter. Dosh has walked and bounced out in this one. Another left-handed hitter to C. Smith. Now time is called at home plate by Dosh. And Jacob Stallings is going to run out and go over the signs. Behind home plate. Smith with the high set as he runs through the signs. The first pitch to Drew Dosh is inside for a ball. Fastball at 91 miles an hour. 7-0 is our score. Baysox leading the Curve. All 7 runs in the top half of the second inning for Bowie. They've got 7 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. Curve. No runs on 2 hits. They made 3 errors. This pitch misses low for a ball, and it is 2-0 on Dosh. Runners on a base for the Baysox. Quincy Lattimore stands at second. Garibez Rosa, the runner at first base. Rosa picking up his 3rd hit of the night. Before we stepped aside there. The high set from Smith in the 2-0 is driven foul down the first base line. That one's going to kick up and roll into the tarp roll. Should come out the other end, and it does. A pitcher out of the Curve bullpen will come down and Flip it to some lucky fans here in the bleachers. Pretty good crowd on hand tonight, sticking with us after the rain passed through. Reminder, the Curve are home tomorrow night as well, as the 2-1 to Dosh is in there for a called strike, 2-2. You can get your tickets for tomorrow night's game. It's a 6 o'clock start. Gates will open at 5. Get them online at altoonacurve.com, or you can give us a call at 877-99-CURVE. The 2-2 from Smith is lined to third base, and Wood has it for the final out of the inning. Barrett Barnes, Jacob Stallings, and Eric Weiss for the Curve. First pitch from Joe Gunkel is lined into left field. That ball's going to get down in front of Lattimore for a base hit. It'll be hit number 4 on the night. Actually number 3, as it was already up on the board, as Barnes hit first base. And Barnes has now been on base twice tonight, was hit by a pitch the first time in the first inning, now has himself a base knock. And Jacob Stallings will come to the plate. Stallings 0 for 1, hit the ball well out to right field, but Mike Yastrzemski was able to track it down. Barnes, good speed over at first base, modest lead. The pitch from Gunkel is low for ball 1. Curve just need to push across their first run of the night and then start chipping away at this big Baysox lead. Gunkel, the right-hander, comes set. Glances over at Barnes. The 1-0 is hit in the air. Right center field. Long run for Yastrzemski, and he won't get there. He is able to catch it on a bounce. Stallings heading for second base, and it is a double. Barnes will stop at third. And the Curve in business with runners at second and third here to start the 4th inning. Great chance to get on the scoreboard here as Eric Weiss comes to the plate. As back-to-back hard-hit balls off of Gunkel to start the inning. A single by Barnes was tagged out to left. Stallings went the other way to right center. Defended very well by Yastrzemski in right field as he was able to cut it off on one hop. Didn't let it get by him and got that ball back in. So second and third, nobody out. Eric Weiss, who's 1 for 1 with a single, stands at home plate. First pitch from Gunkel is cut on and miss. Breaking ball, down and in, and it's 0-1 on Weiss. Weiss hit .250 and knocked in 14 runs for the Curve. A little bit of a different role after some other players were promoted. He's hitting 7th in the lineup tonight. Saw him hitting cleanup for a handful of games. The 0-1 is bounced foul up the first base side. Another breaking ball down and in, and it goes to 0-2. Over the last week to 10 days, Weiss has seen a lot more of that. The breaking ball inside. Started to adjust to it the past couple of games in Binghamton and fouled off a tough one there. See what he gets. 0-2 from Gunkel. The right-hander sets, looks at Barnes at third, and the pitch is waved at and missed. Another breaking ball, and down on strikes goes Weiss for the first out. It is the 3rd strikeout by Gunkel, all in the last 3 innings. So an RBI chance here for Stetson Alley. Alley is 0 for 1. He flied out to center field in the 2nd inning. And 58 RBIs during the regular season, good portion of the year. He was in the top 5 in the league in runs batted in. Finished just outside that group. Hits from the right side against the righty. First pitch, cut on and miss. Fastball, 92 miles an hour. And it is 0-1. Curve had 2 runners on to start the inning. Now there is 1 out, as Stetson will try and push across their first run of the night. First base side of the rubber for Gunkel. Stares down Barnes, and now the pitch. It is hit on the ground, and the shortstop Martinez gathers it. Long throw to first. He gets Alley, but the run scores. So the Curve have scored their first run in the 2015 postseason. They trail this one 7-1 in the home half of the 4th inning. gives Stetson the RBI. A little confusion on the left side of the infield for the Baysox as Dosh was coming over. But that's good communication. He felt the shortstop behind him. You could just see him pull up at the last second, and Martinez was able to make the strong throw to first. Stallings had to stay put at second base. So a runner at second with 2 away, and Eric Wood the batter. Righty-righty matchup against Gunkel. He checks on the runner Stallings. The pitch bounced foul over near the Baysox dugout, and it's an 0-1 count. Next offering home for Gunkel will be pitch number 55 of the night. Home half of the 4th inning here from P&G Field, 7-1. The Baysox leading the Curve. As Gunkel stares out at Stallings at second, now he's coming home. The pitch is hit on the ground to short. Martinez bobbles it, picks it up, fires to first, and just in time to get Wood. That will end the inning. Have combined for 5 hits in the 6 and 8 spots in the Baysox order. Here's the called strike. Fastball at 91 miles an hour from Smith. Wood is in, even with the bag at third. Try and take away the bunt opportunity for Martinez. The 0-1 is chopped foul up the third base side. It was out in front of the fastball. Smith ran that one up to 92. And he's ahead in the count 0-2. Martinez regathers the bat. Now they dust off home plate. As that caught a piece of Martinez, it looks like, at the plate. So we take a look at the 5-star Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard. Indianapolis continues to lead in their matchup with the Rail Riders, 6-1 in the top half of the 8th inning at Victory Field. This one is looped up, foul ground. Osuna long run. He slides and can't get there. Beautiful effort by Osuna, just out of his reach. And it remains 0-2 on Martinez. Perhaps his time in the outfield helped Osuna read that ball a little bit, just couldn't quite get there. In that game for Indianapolis, Allen Hansen has a hit and a run scored. Josh Bell is 2 for 4. Willie Garcia's knocked in a run. He scored one. Keon Broxton has scored one. Dan Gamache with 3 RBIs, so several former Curve players helping out the AAA club. This one is fouled off. Just off the railing of the Baysox dugout and kicks into the first row. So the kinds of souvenirs you want to get, the ones that just float in there. Another former Curve player, and A.J. Morris is on in relief for the Indians in the top of the 8th. The 0-2 home, and it is a big swing and a miss. Martinez is down on strikes. Second strikeout of the night for Josh Smith. 5th overall by the Curve pitching staff, and there's one away here in the 5th. Glenn Davis will be the batter. Davis 1 for 2 with a double, has knocked in a pair. He also struck out swinging. Here's the set by Smith. The pitch is in there for a called strike. Took a little off, down to 89 from Smith. The lefty, the set, and the 0-1 is upstairs. Count evens up at 1-1. Other Eastern League playoff series, 9-1, Reading leading Binghamton at NYSEG Stadium. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning. This pitch is upstairs as they appeal down to first base. He did not go around, and the crowd not happy with that ball call, and it's 2-1 on Davis. Different looking setup here for the postseason with the 4 umpires down on the field. The 2-1 here to Davis from Smith. It's popped foul down the first base side. That'll get out of play, and we'll even up at 2-2. As this is Smith's inning. Nobody warming down in the bullpen for the Curve. The 2-2 pitch from the lefty is hit well, but that's going to be well foul. Down the left field line, it's going to get out off the roof of the U.S. Foods Picnic Pavilion. Count remains 2-2. Here on Davis. Leadoff man Corbin Joseph awaits on deck for the Baysox. Smith comes set, and his 25th pitch of the night is in there for called strike 3. Another strikeout for Smith, and Davis is not happy, and he is talking to the home plate umpire, Chris Tipton. Now he heads back for the dugout. It is the 3rd strikeout by Smith, 2nd this inning. 6th strikeout for Curve pitching. As Corbin Joseph stands in, he'll hit from the left side against the lefty. Smith the high set, and the first pitch is popped up. Into foul ground comes Eric Wood, and Wood will squeeze it for the final out in the frame. It is a 1-2-3 inning. 7-1, the Baysox are leading the Curve as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It's the top of the lineup due for the Curve: Adam Frazier, Max Moroff, and Jose Osuna against Joe Gunkel. First pitch is up and away for a ball to Frazier, and the count goes to 1-0. Frazier due for a hit as he bounced out in the first inning, flied out to center field in the second. This pitch misses away for a ball, and it's 2-0. Adam hit .324, 2 homers, 30 driven in the regular season. So right-hander begins to throw in the Curve bullpen. It's a check swing. He did not go around as they appeal down to third. And it's 3-0. 3-0 pitch from Gunkel. Frazier takes all the way. It's a called strike, 90 miles an hour over the inside corner. 3-1 now to Adam. Hitters count. This pitch misses away. Ball 4, and the Curve have a leadoff walk here to start the 5th inning. So Frazier trots down to first, and Max Moroff will be the batter. Get you the final line this half inning. John Kuchno, who came on in relief for the Curve. He went 1 2/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and a 1 strikeout for Kuchno. Max Moroff now the batter for the Curve. The set by Gunkel. Frazier's lead at first. The first pitch misses low and away for a ball. It's 1-0. So that's going to get the catcher, Cisco, out to talk things over with Gunkel after a 5-pitch walk to start the inning. In a first pitch miss to Max Moroff. Frazier, good speed at first, stole 11 bases in the regular season in 18 attempts. Started to see him run a little more as the season wore on. The 1-0 to Moroff is sprayed foul down the third base side. That's going to get out of play. And we're even up at 1-1. Moroff tonight has bounced down to second back in the 3rd inning. And he flied out to left field in the 1st. He's hitting from the left side against the righty Gunkel. And the pitch misses low for a ball, and Max is ahead in the count, 2-1. Baysox leading 7-1 here in the home half of the 5th inning. Adam Frazier, the runner at first base. And nobody out for Max Moroff. The 2-1 is outside for a ball. It's 3-1. As Gunkel, a deep breath as he heads back to the backside of the mound, as he tries to re-find it here. 7 of his first 9 pitches have missed the strike zone this inning. The 3-1 is in there for a called strike, caught the lower part of the zone. 89 miles an hour, and the count runs full here on Moroff.
Looks like Brett McKinney's up throwing right now in the bullpen for Altoona.
Gunkel checks on Frazier. He is not going 3-2. The ball is hit through the left side of the infield by Martinez for a base hit. Lattimore is in quickly, and he holds Moroff to a single. It is the 5th hit of the night for the Curve. And again, they have 2 runners on with nobody out for the 2nd consecutive inning. Were able to push across their first run of the night in the last inning on an RBI ground out by Stetson Alley. Now it will be the dangerous Jose Osuna coming to the plate for Altoona.
Fighting Phils are all over the B-Mets tonight. I know you updated the score a moment ago. It looks like they've added a couple more. 9-1 lead, 14 hits over the B-Mets in the 5-star Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard.
Is a very good hitting Reading team. Took the Curve right down to the wire for the team batting average lead in the league. This pitch misses low for a ball, and Gunkel is again behind in the count. Now some stirring for the first time tonight in the Baysox bullpen. Still nobody throwing yet, as Gunkel's closing in on 70 pitches. Number 67 coming home here to Osuna. The 1-0 is low for a ball, and it is 2-0 to Jose.
Now, Osuna's got big-time pop. We've seen it this year, one of the higher totals of home runs in the Pirates organization this season. He's certainly got the kind of power that could make this game very interesting again.
He is hitting .300 with runners in scoring position this season. The 2-0 pitch, and he swings and puts this one in the air down the right field line. It's into foul ground, and coming over to make the play. No, it's off his glove was Mancini. As at the last second, Mancini, I think he heard the footsteps of Garabez Rosa coming up behind him.
He was camped, he was waiting, he had the play. That's a tough play, first of all. And then Mancini, I don't know, he just missed it. He just missed it. He closed his glove too early. Maybe he lost it in a light or something. But
he will be charged with an error on the play and foul ground. It's the second error of the night for the Baysox. New life at the plate if you're Jose Osuna. And he is still ahead in the count, 2-1. Frazier, the runner at second, more off at first. Great speed on the base pass for the Curve. Gunkel stares in. Now back at Frazier. And the 2-1 is lined into left field, and Lattimore is over, and he makes the catch. And Frazier will have to retreat to second base. He went halfway in case that ball got down. He wanted to be sure he had a chance to score. So runners remain at first and second for Altoona, and Quincy Lattimore really took one away there.
he did. Covered a lot of ground quickly. That one looked destined for the gap, destined to roll all the way to the wall, and thought maybe 2 more runs back for Altoona. But Lattimore, man, he can certainly cover some ground in the outfield, kind of like the young man stepping in the plate right now.
Austin Meadows stands at home plate for the Curve. He reached on an error by Mancini in the first inning, and he's bounced out to second base. Meadows from the left side against the righty Gunkel. 2 on and 1 out for the Curve. The pitch from Gunkel is lined into right field. That's a base hit. No chance for anybody to catch that. Everybody's up 90 feet as the throw comes back in from Yastrzemski, and the bases are full for the Curve. Is Meadows' first hit of the postseason, and hit number 6 for the Curve offense. It's going to draw a visit from the Baysox dugout as the pitching coach, Alan Mills, comes out to the mound to talk things over here with Gunkel. And just to show you the amount of trust the Baysox have in Gunkel, even though he was a little erratic to start the inning in walking Frazier, he's given up 2 hits and a hard hit ball to Osuna. Still no one throwing behind him in the bullpen.
And understandable. This is your ace. He's pitched in tough spots before. He's got postseason experience while not necessarily at the professional level. He was the MVP for Westchester. And a couple of years back, 2012, I believe it was, the NCAA Division II World Series down in North Carolina, 2012, his sophomore campaign.
And a big hitter at the plate for the Curve in Barrett Barnes. Barnes has been on base twice tonight. He singled and was hit by a pitch. Hits from the right side against Gunkel. The first pitch is driven well out to left field. Back is Lattimore. He is looking up, and that one is out of here. It is a grand slam home run for Barrett Barnes. And the Curve are right back in this one, 7-5 on a huge home run from Barnes. As Gunkel left that pitch up, and Barnes drove it over the UPMC Health Plan outfield bleachers. A no-doubt shot for the Curve left fielder. And it gets this crowd back into the game. The loyal Curve fans who stuck with us through the rain delay. Barnes had 3 home runs with the Curve during the regular season. That's one of his big tools is the power. First pitch here to Stallings is fouled back to the screen. And it's 0-1 on Jacob. So now a 7-5 game after the huge home run by Barnes. And a right-hander is now throwing in the bullpen for the Baysox. As the Curve have answered back. Gunkel's 0-1 is in there for a called strike. Good-looking breaking ball. And it is now 0-2 on Jacob Stallings.
I was talking with the voice of the Baysox earlier this afternoon, and we were talking about this incredible pitching matchup tonight between Gunkel and Kuhl, and which it is.
Pitch here to Stallings is on the ground to short. Martinez, tough play, long throw, but he's able to get Stallings for the second out.
We're talking about the matchup between these two pitchers who have had just incredible seasons and have great stuff, high upside. We were saying, you know, we're going to look across through this window over here in the 5th inning, and it's going to be something like an 8-4 game. Well, the over-under was right on, at least for right now. And it's strange how things work out like that sometimes, but, man, Barnes just made this a ball game again.
Eric Weiss to the plate for the Curve with 2 outs. First pitch misses inside for a ball. That time he went fastball down and in. Last at bat for Weiss, it was 3 straight breaking balls in that same spot. And he struck out against Gunkel. Here's a fastball away, and it is fouled off down the third base side. Now to play. Counts even back up at 1-1 to Weiss. Right-hander and Brett McKinney continuing to throw in the bullpen for the Curve. Most likely we'll see him in the 6th. Pitch here from Gunkel is hit right back through the middle. That's a base hit. As Weiss has his second hit of the night, hit number 8 for the Curve, and their 4th here in this inning. And he'll bring in 8th man to the plate here in the inning, and it is Stetson Alley. Talked about it when this was a 5-0 game in the second inning. If the Curve could just limit that inning, and they were able to, stopped it at 7 with a couple of guys on base, they have the offense that can get back into this one, and they certainly have. 5 unanswered runs for Altoona, as heading to the mound now is Baysox manager Gary Kendall. And he will make the call to the bullpen. We'll have a new right-hander on the hill for the Baysox when we return.
1.42 ERA, spent most of his season with the AAA Fresno squad.
First pitch misses low and away, and he's down in the count to Stetson, 1-0.
With Fresno, he went 4-2 with a 4.91 ERA over 35 games. Spent much of the season, or a handful of the season, on the temporary inactive list in the DL.
The 1-0 misses again, low and away. It's 2-0 on Stetson.
It's been tough to hit. Those runs come across, a lot of them because of a handful of walks he had up at PCL.
The 2-0, Alley swings and fouls it back. Fastball at 93.
That was a game-tying hack for Stetson Alley, and he didn't miss it by very much. Had a home run just a few days ago out at Binghamton to cap off a 17-homer season.
Would love to see his first postseason homer here. The 2-1 is lined, but right at the third baseman, in a beautiful play by Dosh that will end the inning. He will see Mike Yastrzemski, Trey Mancini, and Quincy Lattimore here in what is a big inning, as you want to throw a 0 up there here in the top of the 6th. The first pitch from McKinney is low and away for ball 1.
24-year-old from Hamilton, Ohio. Picked up out of Ohio State like John Kuchno, 19th round of 2013. McKinney 0-5 with a 5.70 ERA over 44 games this year.
The 1-0 is a fastball in there for a strike up to 95. He's just loosening up out there.
He can run it up 95. We've seen it touch 97 a few times this year. Very good work to close out the season and give up a run over his last 4 games.
The 1-1 is bounced back the middle. Adam Frazier has it behind second base, fires to first, and there is quickly 1 away.
Very smooth play out at shortstop by Adam Frazier. There's a tougher, sharp bouncer than it looked like. But with Brett McKinney, the deal in his season, we've talked about it when he's come in other times, but the ERA's run up over an outing on June 12th in his AA debut. He gave up 8 runs earned. August 11th, 5 earned runs with 1 out. July 21st, 5 runs, 2 outs. You take those starts out he put together, or those relief outings.
This pitch is in there for a called strike, 95 up at the Leonards, and it is 0-1.
And he put together a pretty good first run through AA. It's just a matter of trying to find the consistency. The coaches love his stuff. Scouts love his stuff. He's heading off to the Arizona Fall League. That should tell you something.
This pitch misses off the outside corner, 94. And we even back up at 1-1. It's another good night for Josh Smith as well. The 1-1 to Trey Mancini is cut on and missed. High fastball again at 95, and it's 1-2. Smith goes an inning and 2/3 scoreless, allows just 1 hit, no walks, and 3 strikeouts for the lefty. The 1-2 pitch from McKinney is cut on and missed on a nasty slider down and away, and Mancini is down on strikes. First strikeout by McKinney, and it is number 7 by the Curve pitching staff tonight. As Quincy Lattimore will be the batter.
There's all you need to see about the stuff from Brett McKinney. He just made the best, one of the best, maybe the best hitter in the league. Looks pretty silly up there at the plate.
Here's Lattimore. The first pitch is up and away for a ball down to 90 miles an hour. Lattimore is 1 for 3 with a single in this one. The 1-0 from McKinney is ripped and nearly caught by Wood, but it's off his glove. That's going to be a base hit. But either way, knocking that down saved what could have been a double for the speedy Lattimore. It is hit number 10 for the Baysox tonight, and they have a 2-out base runner. And Chance Cisco will come to the plate. Cisco has reached on an error and has struck out twice. In this one, he hits from the left side. McKinney, a deep breath as he heads to the belt. The first pitch is hit on the ground and through the hole on the right side into right field. Stetson charging quickly, and he was ready to throw it to third if Lattimore wanted to test it. So back-to-back 2-out singles for the Baysox. And runners at first and second with 2 away. Curve trailing 7-5 in the top half of the 6th inning. And a man that has really plagued them tonight in Garabez Rosa comes to the plate. Rosa hit .253 during the regular season. He is 3 for 3 in this game. 2 singles and a double. He digs in from the right side against McKinney. McKinney shakes off the first sign from Stallings, and now Stallings will head out and discuss things with the right-hander on the mound. Saw this with a couple of the other Curve relievers tonight. Re-go over the signs with Lattimore at second base. 7 runs on 11 hits and 2 errors for the Baysox. 5 runs on 8 hits and 3 defensive miscues for the Curve. McKinney, a long look in here at Stallings, has the what he wants. And the first pitch to Rosa is swung on and missed. High fastball, and Rosa chasing it at 94 miles an hour. That's a tough pitch to make contact with at all. See if he sticks with a hard one or goes to the slider here, 0-1. Time is called at home plate by Rosa. As McKinney shakes off Stallings. Now the head nod, yes. Checks on Lattimore at second. The 0-1 is fouled off. It was another fastball at 94. And the count goes to 0-2. He was able to put away Mancini earlier this inning on a 2-strike slider that was off the plate away. Guessing we'll see one out of the strike zone, whether it's down and away with the slider or up with the fastball here. The 0-2 is cut on and missed on the high fastball. A big strikeout and a fist pump from Brett McKinney, his second strikeout of the inning. Seven to 5, the Baysox leading the Curve. Eric Wood at the plate, 0-1 count. Jason Stoffel on in relief for the Baysox. Came on last inning, taking the place of Joe Gunkel. The 0-1 to Wood is cut on and missed. It is 0-2. As the Curve finally able to score some runs against Gunkel tonight.
And Gunkel did not pitch deep enough into this game to leave in line for the win. 4 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs all earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Leaves with a 9.64 postseason ERA.
Pitch from Stoffel is fouled back to the screen by Wood. He stays alive, and the count remains 0-2. It will be Eric Wood, Adam Frazier, and Max Moroff to the plate for the Curve. Frazier and Moroff, the guys that got the rally started back in the 5th inning. And Stoffel remains ahead 0-2 on Wood. This pitch is in there, breaking ball called strike 3, and nothing Wood could do with that pitch. Just a perfect location. It is the first strikeout by Stoffel tonight. And it is number 4 by the Baysox pitching staff. And Adam Frazier will come to the plate. 7 runs for the Baysox all came in the 2nd inning. Curve started chipping away with 1 in the home half of the 4th, and then 4 on the grand slam from Barnes in the 5th. Pitch misses, low and away to Frazier, and it is 1-0. Frazier 0 for 2. He's flat out, bounced out, and he worked a walk in, scored a run in that 5th inning. The 1-0 is lined into left field. That one Lattimore will not get. It's down in front of him for a base hit. Hit number 9 for the Curve, and the first of the night for Adam Frazier. Quincy's been catching everything out in left field. With that one just out of his reach, had to play it on a hop. Max Moroff will now be the batter. Frazier, again, good speed over at first base. But with him over there, it opens up the bigger hole for the left-handed hitting Moroff. First pitch is a called strike, breaking ball over the outside corner, and it is 0-1. Moroff 1 for 3, has singled and scored a run. Stoffel looks down, checks the runner, and the pitch is outside for a ball. Fastball up to 92 from the right-hander. And we're even up at 1-1. Talked about Frazier's contention for the league batting title. Max Moroff is a guy that was up there amongst the league leaders pretty much all season long, as here is his strike. And it is now 1-2 on Max.
He finished the year 8th. Well, we'll see what they do about Mancini. It might bump him down to 9 because Mancini, they're going to cook the books a bit to make him qualify.
A deep breath, and the 1-2 is just off the outside corner. Stoffel wanted that pitch. A couple of extra steps towards home. Didn't get it from Chris Tipton, and it's 2-2.
Moroff led the league in games played, runs scored, 2nd in total hits. Great breakout season for him. Curve's MVP for this year.
2-2 to Moroff, and it is hit back the middle by Martinez into center field. Frazier a big turn, but he will stay at second base as Davis comes up with it. And the Curve have their 10th hit of the night, and they are in business with 1 out and 2 on.
This is a relentless offensive attack. We've seen it all season, and mentioned even when they were down 7-0. We've seen this as a team that is never out of a game with this type of offense, and just keep on scrapping away. More hits now, 10 hits. It was almost a given most nights this year, especially at one point, that this team was going to reach double figures in hits every game, and that's tough to do for most teams once in a while. The Curve did it over a stretch. It was more often than not they were reaching at least 10 hits a night for a stretch there. They were hitting up near 300 as a team for a couple of month stretch, and just an offense that has been so tough to slow down all year long.
And clicking again here, Frazier the runner at second, Moroff at first, and Jose Osuna digs in at home plate. He is 1 for 3. First pitch, check swing. He did not go. Breaking ball missed outside, and it's 1-0 on Jose. And Osuna's a guy that, another one of those guys, you've heard Curve manager Tom Prince say it all season. He came up here from Bradenton. He didn't miss a beat. Started hitting right away. The 1-0 is fouled back to the screen, and it is 1-1.
He's a guy that when we were looking at players that might be here for the 2015 season to start the year, we thought it would maybe be Osuna. He just finished shy of a batting title with Bradenton last year, hit .296, 10 homers, and really seemed like he had kind of reached his high A ceiling when he got moved up to this level.
A deep breath by Stoffel, checks on Frazier. The 1-1 is cut on miss. Big swing by Osuna, and it's now 1-2, as that was an 8-7 type of swing. See if he reins it in a bit. 1-2. As Osuna's out to adjust the batting gloves. No one throwing behind Stoffel in the bullpen. for the Baysox. And Stoffel's 1-2 is cut on and missed. Fastball had Osuna just a tick late, and he is down on strike. Second strikeout of the inning for Stoffel. And it is number 5 by the Baysox pitching staff tonight. And that'll bring up Austin Meadows with 2 outs and runners at first and second. So a big spot for the youngster Meadows. He's already proven himself in several of these spots when the Curve have needed a big hit since he has been a member of the squad. Hits from the left side against Stoffel. The first pitch is hit in the air on the infield. Martinez is underneath it, calls off everyone, and he makes the catch for the final out here in the 6th.
A walk and a run scored. First pitch, high and outside for ball 1. It was a nightmare second inning for Altoona. 7 runs across for the Baysox. The Curve have chipped away and fought back. Got an RBI from Stetson Alley in the 4th inning. Barrett Barnes the grand slam in the 5th, and we've got a 7-5 game. 1-0 pitch. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Brett McKinney hurling in those mid-90s fastballs, trying to keep this just a 2-run game. Hasn't often been a multi-inning guy this year. It's a ball inside. Slider just missed off the edge. 3 balls, no strikes on Dosh. McKinney just 1 inning his last couple of outings. A 3-0 pitch right down the middle, taken for a called strike. I expect this to be the last inning we see McKinney, the Curve, dumping out the whole bullpen tonight. Chad Cole only able to get through an inning in 2/3. 3-1 pitch. Fouled away. The count's filled up 3-2. McKinney has gone 3 innings this year twice. Once against the Trenton Thunder back in June. That's the only time with Altoona. He also had a 3-inning outing, 2 hits scoreless against Palm Beach for Bradenton. For payoff pitch, way outside, ball 4, straight to the backstop it goes. Hit the backstop on the fly. And Dosh walks to lead off the top of the 7th inning. Every now and then one gets away from McKinney, and that one ended up all the way back to the wall behind home plate. Ozzie Martinez, 2 for 3 so far this evening. Struck out the last time he came up. That was against Josh Smith.
The Curve bullpen has been up to the task so far. Inning in 2/3 scoreless from John Kuchno, and Josh Smith matched that with an inning in 2/3 scoreless of his own.
Everybody that's pitched so far prior to McKinney has worked an inning in 2/3. Ball bounced back up the middle. Frazier got it, touches second, throws to first, double play. First pitch to Martinez. He bounces into the 6-3 double play, and just like that, 2 outs. And Glenn Davis up next for the Baysox. Nobody on base for the number 9 man. 1 for 3 night, 2-run double and a run scored for him in that mammoth second inning. Since then, nothing but strikeouts.
The defense has really settled in as a whole after that second inning.
First pitch to Davis is outside for ball 1. This is a team with the Curve where most of these guys have some sort of postseason experience. A lot of these guys pitched in the playoffs or played in the playoffs last year with Bradenton. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch to Davis. Inside corner called a strike. You think about Adam Frazier out there, shortstop, who started that double play a moment ago. He got to pitch in the College World Series, and not just in the College World Series, out there at Omaha, old Rosenblatt Stadium. 1-1, down and away, 2-1 count. I believe it was still in the old stadium in 2013 when Mississippi State played UCLA. But you think about the crowds that show up for those games, especially in the finals. Frazier had to play in front of 40,000 plus. Some big-time games that counted. 2-1. Fly ball lifted out, shallow right field alley, chasing over towards the foul line, still charging over into foul ground, makes the catch. Top of the 7th inning in the books. In the bottom of the 8th inning, but Binghamton has brought back a couple more runs. First pitch of the inning, taken outside, to Barrett Barnes. The Curve batting because it's the bottom of the inning. I said a moment ago, top of the order for the Baysox. That's next half inning. I've seen a baseball game before, Nate, I promise.
These home road
This is number 143 of the year. Called strike makes it 1-1 on Barnes, who had that grand slam home run.
It is the first game back home.
It's been a while. 8 games on the road, 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Stoffel taking a little bit off, got Barnes out in front. It's 1-2. Curve haven't played a home game in 10 days. Last 8 games of the regular season on the road, plus the off day yesterday. 4 games at Bowie, 4 games at Binghamton. 1-2, misses outside, 95 on the fastball from Stoffel, and the count's even up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. More action in the Altoona pen, not a lot of relievers left to turn to at this point. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Barnes swings, and it's a high bouncer over to third. Played easily by Dosh, fires to first. Out number 1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jacob Stallings up next. Left in the Altoona bullpen, John Daniel Medina, Claudio Perez, Tom Harlan, and Montana DiRappo. It's a right-hander throwing down there right now as we pull out the old trusty, not that great binoculars. Might be DiRappo?
Looks like
be
him
my
from
best
here.
guess. Bullpen here is a long way away. First pitch to Jacob Stallings is taken for a called strike. All speed from Stoffel. It's 0-1.
I do like the bullpens in play because you can see when someone gets up.
We were in Binghamton the last few days, no idea. No bullpen cameras in the Eastern League like you'd get up in the big leagues. 0-1, the count on Stallings. Stoffel delivers. Stallings waves and misses way early on that changeup, and it's 0-2. Stallings tonight, 1 for 3 game. He doubled in the 4th inning, helped set up the RBI ground out for Stetson Alley. Way behind in the count here. Stallings came up with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 1st inning. Thought he got hit by a pitch and ended up flying out the next pitch. 0-2, taken high. Fastball misses upstairs. No chase from Stallings. It's 1-2. What a big momentum shift that was at that moment. Curve with the bases loaded against a tough pitcher in Joe Gunkel. Stallings says he got hit by a pitch. Umpiring crew says, no, you did not. Next pitch, he flies out. Bases left loaded. On to the next inning, 7 runs. Stallings swings and fouls it away. Keeping himself alive at 1-2. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th inning. Curve trying to complete a massive comeback. It'll be the biggest deficit they have overcome in 2015 if they can erase this 7-run deficit, the previous high being 6. That was all done in 1 inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fastball ran right by Stallings. And we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Curve Radio Network. Baysox 7-5 in Game 1 of the Eastern League Division Series. First pitch to Eric Weiss. Takes low and inside. A changeup from Jason Stoffel. This is for ball 1. Game 1 of the postseason. First trip to the playoffs for Altoona since 2010. The Baysox, it's been less time, but here's the 1-0 pitch. Called a strike, 1-1. The Baysox have never in their history, dating back to 1992, won a playoff series. Not once. They've only been to the postseason a handful of times. The pitch bounces in. 2 balls and a strike to Weiss. This is the 6th trip to the Eastern League playoffs for the Curve. 4th year of the franchise, they made it for the first time. 2003, they went in 04, 05, 06, and then a 3-year drought before the first ever championship run in 2011. Weiss swings and lines it back towards left center. But there's Quincy Lattimore. He makes the catch, and that ends the inning. And DiRappo, the 23-year-old, 32nd round pick last year, the Pirates out of Bethune-Cookman, and Deltona native, Deltona, Florida. His first pitch tonight to Corbin Joseph, way outside for ball 1. Fastball for DiRappo. We'll see it up 95, maybe 96. Made a couple of appearances for the Curve. 1 at Bowie, pitched a scoreless inning. Worked out of a jam against Binghamton. Got an out to leave a couple runners on. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch fouled away by Joseph down the left field line. 1-1. DiRappo with the Marauders this year worked as their closer for much of the year. 31 appearances, 13 saves, and 14 tries. This obviously not a safe chance. 4-1 record. Started out the year in the South Atlantic League with West Virginia as he's climbed the ladder well in his second pro season. 1-1 to Joseph. Fly ball hit well back to right field. This is trouble. Alley back. Alley to the wall. Alley running out of room. Alley over the shoulder. Makes the catch. Out number 1 of the 8th inning.
It's a very athletic play by Stetson Alley, as it looked like he was kind of leaning back as he was running all the way to the wall, able to track it down, crashing into the Wren's Apple Ale sign out in right field.
Tip of the cap to Stetson Alley. What a catch. Joseph out number 1. Stetson, one of the things he said he was looking forward to about playing in the outfield this year after moving from first base, whether he was really looking forward to playing out there at all or not. He said he could focus on his hitting a little bit more. As Durapo into the windup, first pitch to Yastrzemski, bunts it, pulls it back, takes it for ball 1 away. But he said it gave him a chance to go out there and just use his athleticism defensively. First base takes a lot more work than right field. Now, right field's not an easy position. But Alley said playing in the outfield would give him a chance to just rely on his athleticism for his defense once he got to learn the position and really focus in on hitting. 1-0 pitch to Yastrzemski. Swings and lines it out to right. Alley coming in, has to play this one on a hop. That's down for a knock for Yastrzemski, his 3rd hit tonight. A 1-out base runner for the Baysox. Trey Mancini up next. Mancini, quite ironically, dubbed the Eastern League Hit King today. He's one of the only players in the Baysox lineup without a hit tonight. 0 for 4 so far on this game. What a hitter he has been. A nice addition for the Baysox since coming up from Frederick, a former Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Set from Durapo. Long hold and the pitch. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Mancini drafted in the 8th round in 2013 out of Notre Dame. Notre Dame starting to pick up their baseball reputation, especially now they're moving into the ACC. They have here in the last year or so. And they've had a quality baseball program, and they're a team on the rise, and Mancini a part of that. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Swings and bounces it over to third. Might be 2. Wood over to Moroff. There's 1 to first. And off the glove of Osuna, it rolls away. Mancini falls. As he tried to turn to second base, he'll have to scamper back to the first base bag. And a fortunate play there. It kind of evened out because probably should have been a double play. But instead, Mancini will just hang around first base. Lost his footing as he tried to pivot out towards second base. Yastrzemski forced out on the play. It's a fielder's choice for Mancini. 6-4. And Mancini came in hot at second base and maybe helped make sure that Moroff couldn't get a strong throw off to first. Now 2 away, runner on first base for the powerful this year, Quincy Lattimore. Long set. And the first pitch from Durapo, up and inside, brushes back Lattimore. It's 1-0.
And some communication on the back end of that double play attempt between guys that aren't normally in those positions, with Stallings, who was going to cover the bag after Mancini fell, and Osuna in a good job not to throw the ball back and risk another potential miscue on the infield.
That's a good point. Durapo, 1-0 pitch. Lattimore waves it and misses. That's a put a 9 on the board type of swing for Lattimore, who tied for the Eastern League lead in home runs this year. How amazing is that? 20 home runs this year for Quincy Lattimore. You look at him, 5'11", 175 pounds. You don't say that's the guy that's going to lead a Double-A league in homers. He had a great year for power and many other stats. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Breaking ball, strike called. 1-2 now from Durapo to Lattimore. Lattimore's 2 seasons with the Curve. He hit 15 home runs in each of them. And he's been a power hitter really going back to 2010 with the Bradenton Marauders. 19 homers that year, which was his career high until 2013. He had 100 RBIs in 134 games for the Marauders that year. Durapo ready. And the 1-2 runner goes from first pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Quincy Lattimore. And the top of the 8th inning comes to a close.
4th appearance of the year. Record is 0-2. ERA a sparkling 1.03. A perfect 17 for 17 in save situations. He's allowed 7 earned runs in 61 innings.
His first pitch tonight, Alley takes inside, ball 1. Stetson Alley is 0 for 3 tonight. He does have an RBI on a ground out.
Big strikeout numbers for Triggs as well, 70 in those 61 innings. And he has issued just 11 walks.
Curve have managed not very much against him. Alley swings and taps it away, foul. It's 1-1. You look at the last series when Altoona was in Bowie for 4 games, they saw Triggs 3 times. He pitched 3 2/3 innings in those 3 games, gave up just 1 hit, no walks, no runs, and he totaled 7 strikeouts in that span. He wiped away the Curve in those 3 Baysox wins. One of those not even a save chance. They just said, we don't want you to climb back in this game at all. Breaking ball from Triggs misses just inside. 2 balls and a strike on Stetson Alley. Jason Stoffel done 2 1/3, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. We will get a hold tonight. The 2-1 pitch, Alley swings and fouls it away. It's 2-2. Excuse me, actually, I believe Stoffel is now in line for the win. Stoffel in line for the win. Joe Gunkel only went 4 2/3 tonight. Although he did leave this game with his team in front 7-5. Got to pitch those 5 innings to get the W. 2-2 to Alley. Pitch on the way. Alley swings and misses. Strike 3. Big slow curveball. Triggs strikes out Stetson for out number 1.
That speed differential on the pitches, huge for Triggs, was as low as 75 on the breaking ball, as high as 93 in that at-bat.
That, and he's very deceptive. He doesn't come in over the top like a normal pitcher, not even 3/4. He's coming from way out wide. As the first pitch comes in to Eric Wood, called a strike. Inside corner, it's 0-1. It's not quite sidearm for him. And right-handed batters batting just 184 against him this year, and you can certainly understand why. The 0-1 pitch, outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Eric Wood.
Those innings from Jason Stoffel, huge innings in this game, as that's one of the bigger keys throughout the series is for the Baysox, that bridge to Triggs in the back end of the bullpen.
And it's been lights out when they've called to him this year. Wood swings and fouls back. It's 1-2. 17 saves and 17 tries in his minor league career. 50 saves and just 57 tries. He almost never gives up anything. Pirates 1 out in Cincinnati tonight as that gets announced here. Final score 5-4 on the 5-star Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard. Triggs has not given up more than 2 earned in a game all year. That happened just once. He only gave up 2 unearned once. He's given up 1 only 5 times. 5 outings this season for Triggs. Out of 43 has he given up 1 run. 7 out of the 43 has he given up anything at all. 1-2 pitch to Wood. Check swing on a ball away. Appeal goes to first. No swing. Dan Merzel agreeing with Chris Tipton. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. The good news in that is that he was the most hittable, if you want to call it that, in the month of August. Gave up 4 earned runs in his 11 games in August. And a 244 average against, by far the highest this year. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a bouncer right back to Triggs. Leaps in the air to catch it. Takes 4 or 5 steps over to first base, and he flips it underhand to Trey Mancini for out number 2. Eric Wood is retired.
Just a sign of how deceptive Triggs is if you're a right-handed hitter. That 1-2 pitch was maybe 6 to 8 inches off the plate away, and Wood still almost went after it. He was just able to hold up.
It starts back behind your back if you're a right-handed hitter, but it comes back into if you're lefty like Adam Frazier, who steps in now. First pitch to Frazier is taken. The big slow curve drops too low for ball 1. Andrew Triggs this year against the Curve. Altoona 5 of 25 against him entering play tonight. The only player that had any real success against him, he's gone. Frazier checks his swing. It's a called strike, 1-1. Gone to a trade. Edward Salcedo went 2 for 2 and drove in a run against Andrew Triggs this year. Willie Garcia had a hit against him, as did Austin Meadows, Jacob Stallings, but everybody else hitless against him for the season. Time called for. Cisco out to discuss some things with Triggs. That draws some boos from the fans that are sticking around. Frazier at the plate, 0 for 2 with a strikeout against Triggs. Incredibly, Triggs once walked Josh Bell. 1-2 pitch is swung on and fouled off of Frazier's foot. It's 1-2. Triggs doesn't issue many walks, only 11 all season. A whip of 0.87. Whip, walks, and hits per innings pitched. Walks plus hits based on the innings pitched. 0.87, that's very, very good. It's an A+ if you were wanting to put a grade to it. Breaking ball misses down and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's got a career ground out average, nearly 3. 3 ground out outs for every air out over his 152 minor league games pitched. But trying for a 6-out save tonight. Here's the 2-2. Fouled back. Frazier stays alive. And Triggs, he's a closer, maybe not always used to pitching more than 1 inning. He has gone 2 a handful of times this year, so that's actually not as much of a problem as you might think. 2-2 pitch. Fouled away again by Frazier. He keeps battling. The count remains 2-2. They are running up quite a few pitches on him this inning, closing in on nearly 20. Not often you see that many in one frame out of a pitcher like Triggs.
This is what you need to do if you're the Curve, because even if they get you today, you don't want to see him in the game tomorrow.
2-2, swinging a soft tapper, rolls off the mound out to second base. Rosa stays with it, and he fires the first, and Andrew Triggs works a 1-2-3, bottom of the 8th. Glad to have you with us tonight as we head to the top of the 9th inning. The Altoona Curve trailing the Bowie Baysox 7-5 in the first game of the 2015 Western Division Series. Montana DeRapo on the hill facing Chance Cisco. Winds up in the first pitch for the Bowie catcher is a called strike, 0-1. Baysox ahead by 2 in the top of the 9th. Trey Wilson with you along with Nate Bowen. Our producer is Jay Randall. Game was delayed by an hour and 46 minutes due to rain tonight. Finally got underway and the Baysox seized control early. Curve trying to chip away. The 0-1. Taken for a high strike. It's 0-2. And with the letters right across the B-O-W-I-E on the jersey of Chance Cisco. DeRapo ahead in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Starts the slow windup, his 0-2 pitch. Drops a little bit low, tried a curveball. It's 1-2. Montana DeRapo, one of the newer members of this team. Only pitched in 2 games in the regular season after coming up from Bradenton, but he looked sharp. Good stuff. Maybe going to go down as a gem found for the Pirates. Late draft pick. Here's the 1-2. A little bit low. Just missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You look at what a lot of people that know what they're talking about have said about DeRapo. And certainly think that he's got a shot to crack the big leagues one day with the stuff that he has. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Chance Cisco. DeRapo's pitch, a little bit low again. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pirates got him in the 32nd round last year out of Bethune-Cookman down in Daytona Beach, Florida.
He doesn't have your typical reliever stuff either. He's got more of a starter's repertoire with 4 different pitches he can come at you with.
His payoff pitch, awkward swing of the plate, fouled off by Cisco. He was fooled by that changeup. He does have several different pitches he can bring in. DeRapo, like many minor league relievers that come out of college, and many relievers in general in the minors, he was a starting pitcher. He was the weekend ace starting in his junior season at the MEAC squad, the Bethune-Cookman squad. The payoff pitch, ground ball, right side, played by Weiss. Past the diving try from Osuna, throws to DeRapo, covering the bag for out number 1. A nice play by Weiss, a good effort from Osuna. And a nod to DeRapo for being quick enough to get to the bag for that one. 4-1 put out at first base. And Garbez Rosa will come up next. He's 3 for 4 tonight. An RBI single back in the 2nd inning Had 2 hits in the second inning. He steps in here with 1 out, nobody on, top of the 9th inning. Drapo fires in, called strike, 0-1. Drapo has good stuff in a windup that'll keep hitters off balance. He has a little bit of a delay, a little stall when he starts his windup. Starts out with turned it about a 45-degree angle to home plate, shoulders tilted. A complete stop when he takes the first step back, and then he fires in, kind of falling away to the left side. Misses with this pitch up and away for ball 1.
You can come at you a couple of different ways, too. Not quite as many different deliveries as we see from Johnny Cueto at the big league level, but saw some long pauses and some shorter ones when he had guys on base.
The 1-1 on the way. Swing and a miss. Change of pace out in front of the off-speed offering. It's 1-2 to Rosa. Drapo trying to pick up his strikeout. Ahead in the count, he got 1 last inning. Long stare to the catcher, Jacob Stallings. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a foul back, and it's 1-2. You know, that's very true about the different deliveries that he brings in. That time, he didn't have the pause. He stepped back and then right in the leg kick, and that can certainly mess up the timing of a hitter. Drapo, he stands out there, keeps his right hand kind of twitching back and forth. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and tapped foul. I think he missed his spot with that curveball. But Rosa missed it, and it's 1-2.
Trying to remember the starter at the big league level that used to wave the glove hand around quite a bit.
Drapo, it's the right hand that he has down by his side, down next to his hip. Winds up for the 1-2 pitch, swinging a pop-up, foul, and back out of play again as Rosa keeps fighting off Drapo's pitches. Maybe here after 4 straight balls fouled off by Rosa, you wonder if maybe Drapo sends one out of the strike zone somewhere. See if he can get Rosa to chase one. Rosa did strike out in his last at-bat against Brett McKinney. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Drapo exhales and starts the windup. Here's the pitch. Bouncer hit over to third, nearly bounced too far for Wood. He plays it nicely, throws to first. Nice pick in the dirt by Osuna for out number 2. The throw from Wood was spiked into first base. Osuna able to dig it out, 2 away.
It's really been the story of the year for the Curve defensively. Saw some of those errors early on, but then you see just a spectacular play at first base from Osuna.
And we talked about all of the errors over the course of this season for the Curve. 165 of them in the regular season. As Drew Dosh steps in. 2 outs, nobody on. Dosh hitless tonight. One of only 2 players on this Bowie team without a hit. First pitch taken high for ball 1. And we talked about the errors, and there were a lot of them. The Curve led the league, and it was not close. A lot of errors that cost his team some games. Nearly cost them a postseason spot, but at the same time, a lot of miraculous plays that saved some runs. It's kind of an all-or-nothing defensive effort from this team. And you never see an error where you say that was just a lack of effort play. 1-0 pitch is lined back to center field for Austin Meadows. Drifts back about 10 steps, and he makes the catch for out number 3, and that brings it into the top of the 9th inning. Bottom of the 9th inning, can the Curve close the gap? Down 7-5 to the Baysox in Game 1 of the Division Series. First pitch to Max Moroff, taken for a called strike from Andrew Triggs. It's 0-1. Moroff, the Curve MVP, 2 for 4 tonight.
If you had to pick a part of the lineup to start a rally, this is about as good as it gets. These 3 guys coming to the plate.
Moroff, Osuna, Meadows, and Barnes. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. But about as tough as of a pitcher as you'll see out there on the mound as far as the closer goes. And Andrew Triggs. Perfect on the season, 17 for 17 in ERA, just barely over 1. 0-2, delivery in there. Misses outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Triggs, one of the players you thought maybe would end up in Norfolk for the Tide's postseason run this year. Curve trying to start a rally against him. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Moroff is down for the first out of the bottom of the 9th inning. Jose Osuna coming up next.
That is the same arm slot as he just came at him with 77, and he throws 95 up there.
That's a big reason why. You look at the career for Triggs, who was a 19th round pick out of USC in 2012 by Kansas City. Posted great numbers in the Pioneer League in his pro debut. First pitch to Osuna is a check swing. No swing. 1 ball, no strikes. 2013, High A, was pitching well. Northwest Arkansas in the Texas League. Didn't allow a run, getting some late season action. 1 ball, no strikes. Osuna swings and fouls it off, 1-1. But back to Northwest Arkansas last year, 43 games, 19 for 23 in save tries, working as the Naturals closer before he went up to AAA for his debut for 1 game, and then ended up with the Orioles this year. A 1-1, swing and a bouncer, softly hit, third base side, charging in. Doge lets it roll, right off the third base bag, and Jose Osuna has his second infield single of the night. The Curve at the tying run on the bottom of the 9th inning. If you ever want to pick a candidate to get 2 infield singles in a game, you probably would not use your first choice on one of the most powerful hitters in the Curve lineup. But Osuna is on. Second hit tonight. He's 2 for 5, and here's Austin Meadows. Meadows is 1 for 4 this evening. He had a single and scored in the 5th. If he gets on, Barrett Barnes, who hit a grand slam earlier this game, is on deck. 1 out, runner at first pitch. Breaking ball, taken low for ball 1.
Last play was really the only thing Doge could do. He was not going to get Osuna, even if he picked that ball up as soon as he could.
And he did it the right way. Some guys, they don't. 1-0 pitch to Meadows. Takes low, 2-0. But Doge kind of walked back with it. He stayed behind the baseball. You'll see some players on a slow roller up the baseline let it kind of roll by them if they're going to let that happen. And then what happens is sometimes you got a position, and the guy, somebody maybe a little quicker than Osuna, they might sneak up and take second on you or something similar. A lot of things can go wrong when you do that. 2-0 to Meadows. Swings and hammers it back to right field. Yastrzemski back. Yastrzemski's at the wall. He leaps up. That ball is gone. Austin Meadows has tied the game. His first game at this ballpark in front of these home fans. He leaves the yard to tie it up in the bottom of the 9th inning. Against a pitcher that has not blown a save all season, we are even at 7-7. Just spectacular. Austin Meadows. That's incredible, Nate. That's unbelievable. 20 years old. First game here. Here's Barrett Barnes takes the first pitch outside. And the Curve need just 1 run to win it now. From down 7-0, this game is tied at 7 in the bottom of the 9th.
Couldn't have picked a better time for his first AA homer.
1-0. Called his strike. It's 1-1. It's a postseason homer. Doesn't count on the actual stat line for what's going to go in his career line, but wow. No words for that home run. We have a brand new ball game. 1-1 pitch. Bouncing ball hit out to short. Couple of high hops back for Martinez. Throws to first, and it's past the first baseman. Mancini watches it bounce into the seats. Barnes takes off for second, and the winning run is at second with 1 away. A single, an infield single.
That's a really good call on the infield single. Is Barnes, really tough base runner to get. You could tell Martinez was aware of who was running the bases for the Curve as he rushed that throw, and it was a little bit too low. Mancini couldn't save him on the back end.
We mentioned it all night, Nate. This team has an offense. They're never out of a game down 7. They have come back and tied it. Jacob Stallings can win it with a hit now. First pitch, swings and shoots it back into center field, and that's down for a hit. Here comes Barnes around third. Throw in from Davis. Not in time, the Curve win it.
It doesn't get any better than that. A raucous celebration for the Curve out behind second base. Everybody chasing Jacob Stallings, knowing with Barnes' speed that he was going to score on the play. The team as a whole was out of the dugout on the top step when the run scored, and that's how you want to win it. That's how you want to start the postseason. All the momentum swinging back to the Curve side after it seemed like the Baysox had everything going their way early on.
That is the most incredible baseball game I have seen